Let's talk for a few minutes about the remarks that President Trump made a couple of days ago when he and Netanyahu spoke about the Gaza peace plan. And for those of us who follow Bible prophecy, there were a number of statements by Trump that fit in with what's supposed to happen in the end times. Trump started out by saying that it is much more than just about the Gaza situation. It involves everything in the Middle East.
And I want to thank Bibi for really getting in there and doing a job. We've worked well together, as we have with many other countries, both of us, with many other countries, which is the only way this whole situation gets solved. And I'm not just talking about Gaza. Gaza is one thing, but we're talking about much beyond Gaza. The whole deal, everything getting solved. It's called peace in the Middle East.
Trump then went on to say that he and Netanyahu discussed many things, including the expansion of the Abraham Accords.
So today is a historic day for peace, and Prime Minister Netanyahu and I have just concluded an important meeting on many vital issues, including Iran, trade, the expansion of the Abraham Accords.
Trump's remarks about the expansion of the Abraham Accords are very important because the expansion of the Abraham Accords, in my view, is the confirmation of the covenant with many. Trump then made a stunning remark about how all of this involves eternal peace in the Middle East.
And most importantly, we discussed how to end the war in Gaza, but it's just a part of the bigger picture, which is peace in the Middle East, and let's call it eternal peace in the Middle East.
Trump then talks about how the nations around Israel have also supported him in this peace plan, which is exactly in line with Daniel 9:27, which teaches us that the Antichrist will forge a covenant with many between Israel and her neighbors.
So this is far more than anybody expected, but the level of support that I've had from the nations in the Middle East and surrounding Israel and neighbors of Israel has been incredible, every single one of them.
Trump then doubled down on his earlier remarks about eternal peace by stating that the tyranny of terror must end, and this is forever.
The tyranny of terror has to end, and this is, again, something that we're looking for. This is eternity. This is for forever.
And just in case casting himself as the one who will bring eternal peace to the Middle East is not shocking enough, Trump then talks about a board of peace which will be headed up by none other than Donald Trump.
To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace, we call it, the Board of Peace, sort of a beautiful name, the Board of Peace, which will be headed, not at my request, believe me, I'm very busy, but we have to make sure this works. The leaders of the Arab world and Israel and everybody involved asked me to do this, so it would be headed by a gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump of the United States. That's what I want, is some extra work to do, but it's so important that I'm willing to do it.
So, putting this all together, what Trump and Netanyahu have proposed as far as the Gaza situation is not in itself the confirmation of the covenant with many. However, it is a very important part of a larger plan that is coming together. And that larger plan involves expanding the Abraham Accords to include many more nations around Israel. It will be part of a wider, comprehensive plan to bring peace to the Middle East. And all of this being overseen by a board of peace that itself is headed up by Donald Trump should tell us that we are getting very, very close to seeing the confirmation of the covenant with many. And Trump heading up this board of peace also tells me that the eventual covenant with many will have his name on it. It will be the Trump Accords or the Trump Covenant. We are now at the point where the man who matches the biblical descriptions for the Antichrist is announcing his stunning plans for peace throughout the Middle East. But don't be confused. This is not real peace. It is a temporary peace before the return of Jesus. This is the fake peace of the Antichrist.